Hello, friends. Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. We are back with another weekly Monday fun day. This week, you guys voted to have a Disneyland Forward discussion. And that's what we're going to do today. I have 5 topics prepared for you so we can stay on board and do what most live streams never do. Actually, have a conversation that stays somewhat focused. So if you're down for the challenge, I am. I always like to begin the first 5 minutes of the stream saying hello to everybody. And right out of the gate, Andrew said, did Disneyland finally spill some beans about Disneyland Forward? And I'm here to say no, but the Anaheim PD did. And if we're going to hear anything about Disneyland Forward, I think that this is something that Disney would save in their back pocket for a big D23 announcement. Now, I don't think they'll tell us everything they're going to do in D23 because obviously this is a very far away plan, but I do think that they will confirm it. So how's it going, everybody? Let's see who else is here. Give a shout out to my moderator, Jeff Pike. And yes, Club 1313 totally crushed it yesterday on Dapper Day. There were so many club members there, and I'm pretty surprised. I kind of thought that Dapper Day would get the Main Street Electrical Parade treatment where there would just be like a flood of videos about it. And where were they at? Maybe I should have went and filmed one. Let's see here. N. Borini says, hey, Bricky, saw your update 3 days ago. So thorough. Wow. Thanks for all the work. I appreciate it, bud. I have a small team that helps me put together the weekly update videos. Every Friday, you can find our updates where we show you sort of everything that's happening out at the Disneyland Resort and any breaking news throughout the week. But on Mondays, we like to get together and have some fun. And I like to let you guys vote on what it is that we're going to do each Monday. But for some reason, I couldn't get the survey to work. So we'll have to do an old-fashioned survey at the end of today's live stream. And if you're a Club 1313 member, directly after today's live stream will be 1 hour. Directly after this, me and Tony Mendez are going to do our first ever live stream podcast for Club 1313 members only. Tony and I have both had the honor and privilege to do VIP tours on the East Coast and West Coast. So if this is something that you're thinking about booking or something you've always kind of fantasized about, we're going to be doing an AMA where you can ask us any questions about what it's like to go on a VIP tour and which park you should maybe try to do one at, because I have to say the Walt Disney World and Disneyland experience are very, very different. All right, that is our 5 minutes to let everybody jump in. Let's begin our discussion. I already have topic 1 on the board, but I made this little thing, which is our topic timer. The topic timer will run for 10 minutes. So in this first 10 minutes, I want to know from everybody here, what do you want from Disneyland Forward? And I want to, and a B super chat just disappeared on me. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry that disappeared. Green is the color that I'm blocking out to make those transparent. So that's definitely something to learn in the future. But hey, I tried to try this off topic when I wasn't live today and couldn't figure it out. So we'll get that going in the future. Damn it. All right. So the topic is, what do you want from Disneyland Forward? Disney and Stuff says, you're not the only one who wants Earl of Sandwich back. I have to say, man, like, I think Earl of Sandwich served a very, very important part of downtown Disney, like affordable quick service, but it was not my favorite place whatsoever. All right. Nobody has a topic. I'll just take care of it myself then. Let's get it going. Put time into showcasing the chat and it'll make the chat grow. Got it. It worked. Boom. What you all want inside of Disneyland Forward is Hi Alex. I hope they build a huge Hi Alex at Disneyland Forward. As you can see on the map above me, I believe the Hi Alex will go about right there. Boom. That will be so sick. Okay. Drop dead. There we go. Super chat. It says it as a super chat. Sick. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wanted to see if this would work. I appreciate it. The timer's back, bringing back the old school debate club vibes. That's right. Trying to keep everybody on focus, but hey, you voted for this and nobody's creating a topic. I'm just going to go in on my own. AS, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanksgiving sandwich. Not on the menu, but he ordered it anyways. All right. so that somebody will actually watch this video. And here in the beginning, I was boasting like, oh yeah, I want to make one that stays on topic. I'll just do this myself. All right. Oh, I just reset the topic timer because you guys are messing with me. Okay. Disneyland Forward. This is what you guys voted to talk about. I think that the most important thing to come out of Disneyland Forward is the diversity for Disney to take control of the land and do what they want to. Because essentially Disneyland Forward is all about zoning laws. Now, in my whole video that I did where the Anaheim police possibly said that they confirmed that Disneyland Forward is getting approved, a lot of people are like, this was already approved last year. No, it wasn't. What went out was a survey. And that survey was showing that Disney was asking for flexibility in zoning laws. Because as it stands right now in Anaheim, a parcel of land can only be one of these three things. It can be designated for parking, it can be designated for hotel, or it can be designated for entertainment. And what Disney is asking for Disneyland Forward is to make mixed use space. Mixed use space would mean that essentially, let me work you through this little thing that I've dreamt up. In the morning, you park your car in an underground parking garage. Later on that day, you might be riding around on a ride that takes you into a dark ride building, which then, you may not know this, puts you over the top of where you parked earlier that day. And later that night, you might have dinner or check into your hotel room that is above the ride you just rode, which is above where you parked your car first thing in the morning. That is the idea, to be able to stack in the zoning laws where it's like, look, just technologies change, the world of architecture's change, allow us to envision our land any way that we can because we only have so much more of it, with Anaheim being surrounding Disneyland, whereas Walt Disney World, it's kind of wild horses and wild open spaces. So when I saw that OC Vibe was approved, it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I'm like, OC Vibe, which is happening around the Honda Center. And there's also rumors that something like this similar is coming to be around the newly reimagined Anaheim Stadium, or I'm sorry, Angel Stadium. What this said to me when I saw OC Vibe, I'm like, that is the zoning law. And a lot of people are like, well, that's just sports stuff. No, it's not. If you look at the map for OC Vibe, there's shopping in there, there's dining in there, there's open air park spaces that are in there. There even looks to be something that could possibly be similar to a church. Like, it is a full on entertainment situation. And a lot of people said, well, it's just an LA Live ripoff. LA Live, that surrounds the Staples Center, is very, very urban and very condensed because it's in Los Angeles. OC Vibe has a lot more room to sprawl, is way more about open air space, putting parks in, putting trailways in, putting some residential spaces in. It is way more open and expansive than what they could put around the Staples Center. So those were some of the main comments that came in that were you got it wrong. But I just wanted to kind of push back a little bit to define what it actually is with the concept of Disneyland Forward and how it's going to go. All right. Jeff is telling me we've got some people that are actually participating. Shout out to those folks. Let me pull one of those up if I can. I see Anna B refuses to be blocked with another super chat. Appreciate that. My friend Ang says, shout out Ang Club 1313. He says, I think it's a he, says, I would like to see a new land with some more water features. It might be the only heat wimp out, but a long day in the parks can get hot. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think whatever they do, water will be a part of it. Like, water is such a tool that Disney Imagineering uses, because one of the best things about water inside of a land, and you'll notice this in Adventureland and Disneyland, with the construction of Tarzan's treehouse, that waterway that runs through Adventureland, it's still there but stagnant around Tahitian Terrace. But over by where the main, the original part of the Swiss family treehouse is at, there's a waterfall there that sort of purifies that water and keeps it all moving. The sound of that water just gives so much energy and kinetic energy inside of there. I mean, I feel like Galaxy's Edge is kind of cheating us a little bit that the only water experience there is when you go through the standby tunnels to get onto Rise of the Resistance. It could use a little bit of water as well. So I agree with you, Aang. Putting some water in the park would be awesome. And I would guarantee you, whatever plans they have, water is one of Disney's favorite magic tricks to play with. Gross family says, I want Disneyland to bring back the People Remover. The People Remover. So what you're saying is you want a lower attendance with the People Remover, that if you step on the track, it just removes you out of the park. I see. Very controversial, the People Remover. Very controversial. Let's see, Mikey Stain says more acreage in both parks, so I don't have to park hop to make full days out of both parks. We're going to get into that. Our first topic is talking about overall, what do you want? But then we're going to move into what could we expect from each park, and I can even pull up the Google map if we need to look at it, so we could see. My boy John Love says Disneyland Forward, some Tokyo Disney Sea style immersive lands. I don't know that we have the space for what we see over at Disney Sea, but I do think that the lands will have to be very immersive because they are in such a small footprint. So when we look at how Disney was able to reimagine the backstage area for Galaxy's Edge, I mean, I was thinking about the other night, would the May the 4th party be all over Disneyland, or would it just be back in Galaxy's Edge? Because Galaxy's Edge is one of the only lands that can kind of be locked off and isolated into its own space. Back during Marius Nights, they did a Make-A-Wish party there while Marius Nights was in the rest of the park. And then In-N-Out did their Christmas party in Galaxy's Edge while the rest of the park was Marius Nights. So yeah, I think because these lands are going to be in smaller footprints, they will be very, very immersive, because it's kind of the only play when you're in a small spot is to really try to make it feel surrounded. Okay, fine, then Wakanda. I think your best bet for Wakanda in the West Coast is that's where you're going to go on the Quinjet. When the e-ticket finally opens up for Avengers Campus, and I'll tell you right now, that e-ticket will open up at some point. It's just a matter of when. I believe that will be how we go to Wakanda on the West Coast, through video boards and screens. However, there is a strong argument that a physical Wakanda could be built out on the East Coast, and that might not break some of the Marvel Universal licensing agreements that happened before Disney bought it. So we'll see. All right, one more. Let's see what else somebody's looking for here before we run out of time on this one. What a handsome, dreamy soul. I see. Yes. That's what should definitely be there, is handsome, dreamy souls. Can't get one there fast enough. Thank you, Magical Mousers. Extend monorail to have a stop at DCA and the third park. Ooh, I do love the idea of more monorail, but monorail is so expensive. Monorail line is so insanely expensive that I don't see Bobby Chapek open up the checkbook for more monorail, but I like where you're thinking. Great Eatin' Drinker says, would like for Downtown Disney to expand a little bit more. Doesn't have to be as big as Disney Springs, but it'd be nicer to have a bigger Downtown Disney. I think you're onto something there. And what we're going to talk about today and some of our other topics is I very well could see Downtown Disney expanding in both directions, that there would be a little Downtown Disney over on the west and some over on the east. You guys are really hooked on the People Mover. No matter what happens, you always go back to the People Mover. People Mover for Disney fans is like screaming Freebird. It's a long song with a big solo in the middle, and the band's never going to play it, but you can't resist shouting it. God bless you, each and every one of you. More monorail. Elon can donate the money. Elon's not donating any money to Disney. But a Tesla monorail. Now we're on to something. Now we're cooking with electricity. All right, let's move over to our next topic, which is as follows. More Disneyland. Okay, so Let me move the slide over to the Disneyland portion of the slideshow. So this is the very, very loose artwork that was presented in Disneyland Forward. This confirms nothing. This is just a placeholder. Whenever you present artwork to clients, you just want to give them something to imagine what their logo or what their new building could be like. So this is just purely like, this is how we could maybe work the space if we had the space available to us. If Disneyland Forward got approved, which as we've talked about before, is the idea of the mixed space. Okay, more Disneyland. First off, before you throw at me more monorail, they're not building a monorail over here. This land would be accessible from Critter Country. If you go into the wee corner of Critter Country, you will see, you know what? Let's go to the map, baby. Let's go to the map. Where is the map? Boom. Let's go to the map. Okay. So our main entry point into this space, if you go into Critter Country and it back ends, you have this little area kind of right in the middle of the screen there, okay? And then that could either make you go under or over the road here in the middle. And this is the space that we have to play with. Now, this area right in here, this parking area that you can see. Can you see my mouse? No, you can't. That part in there, that part is serious space. That is enough for a very, very sizable land. So when we look over at our slides, this is what they have built in there. And what it looks like is they've been able to put like, one land, some water that Aang wanted, some rocks. Aang wants the water, Bricky wants the rocks, but there is a lot of space in there. So for you, we've done this before. Probably the most interesting thing anybody's ever thrown at me was a Villain's Land or a Nightmare Before Christmas area. But I would love to know what you folks think. So I'm going to look through the chat here and see what's up. Telling you, People Mover is the free bird of Disney fans. Play People Mover! Oh, yeah, the Boring Company putting in an underground monorail. Hey, that's great. I would love to see the Boring Company do that, Moochie Cat. That's fantastic. Okay, I see a shout out about the electrical parade. We're staying on task. We're staying on task. See people talking about Coco, putting Coco over there. I don't know, man. Coco to me feels like a DCA thing. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. Because would you go from Frontierland to Critter Country to like a Spanish style, like Mexico type area? Like, I don't know. I feel like once you went under or over, your expectations would be to visually reset the clock. It kind of feels like it would be too many of the same thoughts going in too long of a weird direction. That's just my instincts. Moochie Cat says, a tribute to Westcott would be cool. Oh, but the problem with Westcott and the reason why Westcott never got built is it was way, way too big for the space that was allotted in Anaheim. In fact, the reason why it totally got shot down is when the plans went out into the newspaper, citizens looked at it and go, wait a minute, that's where my house is at. Wait a minute, that's where my business is at. There was going to be the longest Disneyland ride ever, which was going to be a boat that was going to take you around all the various pavilions. I love Westcott. I wish it would have been built. But you're right. It would have to be a tribute because people are like, do Westcott. Westcott's not fitting in the Toy Story parking lot. We'll get to that later. But looking for some new Disneyland. What do I got here? Aha! Josh G's thinking, think about the transition to Galaxy's Edge. They do that well. Yes, they do. Because you go through the tunnel, and when you come out of the tunnel, it's reset. I'm just simply saying that a Spanish style land after a Critter Country, New Orleans Square, and a Frontier land and an Adventure land. It's kind of all a lot of the same. I would imagine that what's on the other side of that tunnel, if they have the ability to go into a new space and emotionally sort of reset the clock, that they would probably go for like a big change, like something that is kind of drastic and get you going. Like, I don't know. Somebody said a West Coast version of Pandora. I don't want that, but I think that's the type of drastic change that you could put in that area. Or what Josh G is saying, bringing up Galaxy's Edge, and now this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but is that where the West Coast Halcyon goes? Do we use that space for a rich few that can afford a hotel room that's $50,000 a night? Now, that's not the real price, but hey, nobody else ever says the real price, so I'll just go with my own price. $150,000 an hour is what it costs to stay in the Star Wars Hotel. Would they take that space and use it for the 1% of the 1%? I don't know. What else do we have here? We need Mexican land, Bricky. I think it could go well in DCA. A Mexico-flavored land in DCA would be the proper blend to take that park where those puncture holes are and reset the clock. That's just my personal vibe. See? Villains Land. Now that could be cool. Everybody loves the villains. Everybody hates the heroes. I could go for that. Jess says, I'd love to see, in a super chat, thank you, Jess, I'd love to see a New Orleans Square expansion. So when you're seeing when Princess Tiana takes over Splash Mountain, and that is happening, that is not canceled, that you would like to see New Orleans Square continue to go that way. But it would have to stop at the tunnel, right? Like, we're not taking New Orleans Square over or under the road. Like, I'm curious about what you guys think would fit in Weatherman Point. Tap, tap. This space right here. Tap, 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 tap. $150,000 an hour. That's what it costs. That's what it costs. Everybody else is making up prices. I'll make up one too. Oh, Aang is like, Noda, Calcion. Oh, I love that name, the Calcion. Damn, that's good. One of the things I've been putting up here for a weekly is for me to build a Halcyon. I came home with a chandelier Starliner that I would build on a stream, but nobody's voted for it. Back in the pile. Okay, let's see here. I see another one of these New Orleans Square, since it's everybody's favorite land. You guys would really take New Orleans Square and put it through a tunnel and make more of it. Fascinating. Fascinating. Would be like the last thing I would pick. Let's see. We need a Gideon's. So look, I don't need no more rides. I just need a Gideon's. I just need a place to eat big old cookies. By the way, a friend of mine brought me Gideon's this week, and I have a box of 7 sitting in my kitchen. And whew, I am ready for Gideon's to come to the West Coast. So ready for it to come. Let's see here. Leanie says, yes, Villains Land was some kind of Villains Mountain ride. Oh, yeah. Like a dark ride where we're going through lots of different vignettes of some of our favorite villains. That would be awesome. That I could see happening. Joey says maybe this new area could be a Critter Country, Lion King, Zootopia, etc. Now see that I like. That I like, because if New Orleans Square was to take over Critter Country, but we wanted to do sort of a critter animal friendly area, that I could see. Although for whatever reason, that does feel kind of more DCA to me. I can't put my finger on why. Dude, Calcion's so good. What about a black box indoor theater space? See, I think, by the way, beautiful avatar there. And thank you for the super chat. I think that that's the type of thing that could really work, because with limited space, I think you're going to see some indoor stuff so that, the facade's pretty, but you go inside the black box and then that doesn't let you know that you're right next to a massive hotel or a neighborhood. Oh, my bud, Mr. Woo. Is that new parking structure above the Disneyland Hotel or the DVC Tower? Is that new parking structure above the Disneyland Hotel or the new DVC Tower? So the parking structure in this image that's next to me, that is right off the edge of the DVC, that is right off the edge of the Disneyland Hotel. It'll be right adjacent to the DVC Tower, which that DVC Tower is coming along fast. Good to see you here, Adam. Can't wait till we get to hang out again, bud. If you haven't seen Adam and I's video where we cruise around in a boat on the Seven Seas Lagoon, it is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life and one of the best experiences I've ever had in a YouTube video. You got to go watch his video. It's so, so good. All right. I'm seeing Martin saying Zootopia. I could definitely see something like Zootopia where it's kind of indoor, right? It has a lot of indoor space that they could block out everything that they're so close to. All right, let's move over to our next topic. Topic number 3, more Disney California Adventure. And let me get the slide over. So, okay, this is the area that we're looking at for California Adventure. Once again, the concept art proves nothing, just the idea of how the space could be used. I'm going to pull up the map for you real quick so you can see what we're talking about. All right, this is a pretty sizable space. If we just sort of eyeball the amount of space that we have, it is as big as, pretty close to being as big as Pixar Pier and Cars Land. So we're looking at a sizable amount of room. The concept art shows us the idea of going through the tunnel, and the tunnel, once again, we would probably be going over like we are in downtown Disney. You can see that they have it flanked out with a dark ride show building. The reason why that would be so good is because when you're standing on the edge of that dark ride space, when you're standing on the edge of that space would be far enough away from DCA because the way that our eyes work is you would just see whatever's in front of you. You would go in and do the dark ride, and it would create a healthy amount of space between you and whatever is happening over in the Pixar Pier. Hey, me and Adam had a full-on Roy week where we were just celebrating Roy and all his work that he did. And the boat was such a good time. All right, let's see here. I think they need a Disney water park. Wow. Troy, would you really, honest answer, you would really want Disney to take, once they build Disneyland Forward, they're out of land. That's it. They're done with land. And you would want that land to be water park over theme park. That's fascinating to me. Fascinating to me. I mean, nobody would do it better than Disney, but that's so interesting that would be your pick. Now look, Grilskach family is right there with you, man. So that's, people want the water park. Emily says, sorry, I just joined. Is the new Disneyland Forward going to be by the Disneyland Hotel like Grand California by DCA? So the Disneyland Forward, which is at the beginning of the video where I kind of explained it, but I'll go for you fast, Emily, so you can keep up. It's basically just taking all of the existing land that Disney has and giving them the ability to use it as a mixed space. So it would be in all kinds of different areas around the park, like all kinds of them. So essentially any land that Disney owns, it would give them the ability to create mixed space there. So it could be in that area or it could be other areas that we're looking at today. All right, I forgot to turn our topic timer on, but we're about that far. I feel like we're like that far. That feels like that's how far we are, is that far. All right, let's keep cruising here. What else do we have? Kimberly Moore says, a Marvel hotel. Now, Kimberly, my friend, that is an interesting idea because, hear me out on this one. I won't take up too much of our time. But if the East Coast has a Star Wars immersive hotel, but they're not allowed to do Marvel stuff out on the East Coast because of the Universal agreement. Would it make sense if they did an immersive hotel on the West Coast for it to be Marvel themed? And then to be able to do that little move where they take you over to Avengers Campus so that you can help solve some sort of mystery that is a part of your hotel experience, just like how on the East Coast they take you into Galaxy's Edge. Not a bad idea. Drop Dead Red says, easy push. Pixar Pier IP further out the direction and let Marvel have the Hollywood side of the park. Oh, I would love for Marvel to take over the rest of the Hollywood side of the park. Big time. Would I love that to happen? Big time. Now let's see here. Jeff is finding some good ones for me. Life in Excess says Pixar Pier as a portal to new Pixar neighborhoods, acts all of the bad Pixar theming with movie specific areas, Up, Coco, New Monsters Incorporated. Interesting. Yeah, I could definitely see them putting more of that in there. I'm not finding this one in the chat, but Greg said, or hold on. Melvin Lee said, no ride clones from other parks. Melvin, I appreciate you. I wish I could find you in the chat here, but yeah, I don't like ride clones. I like for each park to have its own vibe, right? So that when you go out to the Walt Disney World, there's a reason why you're there to ride things you can't ride back home and vice versa. So I'm right there with you, Melvin. I think that is crucial. Coco Loco says, I back a Wakanda theme Marvel hotel. Could be interesting. Let me see. What else do we have here? This is an interesting idea from 2-Bit Animation. They need to have a Jungle Cruise style Marvel themed ride where you see animatronic superheroes fighting and the tour makes jokes the whole time. Ah, 2-Bit. 2-Bit, you had me till the end. You had me to the end. I can't stand the jokes. I can't stand the cringe fest. I don't want somebody to be like, over here we see Spider-Man, but don't worry, kids. He's only got 4 legs, so he's not really a spider. I can't do it. I can't do it. How dare you? How dare you, 2-Bit? Block him. Get him out of here. Emily says, I think DCA is like Marvel Pixar themed, so maybe character themed restaurant or restraint. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that if they had the space, they would probably want to go in that direction. Disney Springs, we'll be getting to this. Right now, we're just focusing on what would they do in the spot if they connected more DCA. See here, I'm trying to look for somebody who's not suggesting a clone ride from the East Coast or something that they've already taken down. Troy says that Paris already has a Marvel hotel, but I think the difference is that's just a hotel with Marvel theming. I think some folks are thinking of Star Wars hotel, but with a Marvel theme to it, which I think could be very, very interesting. And newsflash, Marvel's made way more money than Star Wars has, so it could be an interesting idea. Adam Reed, if you had to name California Adventure, what would you name it? Rename it? Adam, I would call it just simply Disney Adventure. The word California doesn't need to be there anymore. Although I do like it to be there, and I wish they wouldn't change it. But I do think it could just be or Disney Adventure. Oh, Jeremy. Iron Man roller coaster. Jeremy, walk me through this one. I know that we would want to have an Iron Man roller coaster, okay? But it would have to be far from Avengers Campus. No. We could put it in Hollywood land. So, I will agree with it. I will let it slide. I won't get the map keeper in here yelling at you. You know what, Emily? I can never spell restaurant to save my life. So I had your back. I got your back, bud. I got your back. Squishy Mon says, it'll probably be whatever big franchise is 10, 20 years from now. And the reason why I wanted to give Squishy Mon a shout out is because I don't think you're wrong. Because I think a lot of this space, like take Tomorrowland, for example, over in Disneyland. Tomorrowland might be the most expensive real estate that the Walt Disney Corporation owns. And there's no reason to tear Sorrowland down today, even though I would gladly help them. I have a shovel right over here that I bought just to tear down Sorrowland with. But what would go there, right? So if you think about it, Sorrowland and a lot of things that don't make sense, they're just big placeholders for when the next big IP comes. And that's kind of part of what we'll get to in a bit is what's missing from California that it needs. Because with the Avengers Campus and with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, even though a lot of people would say those aren't perfect lands, they kind of have everything. The only major brand that is missing is a Frozen and an Arendelle, and I don't know. It seems like that's represented in other parks, and they don't need to crowbar it into all of them. All right, our timer is up. It's time to go over to our fourth question. Topic timer survey says, on what if Garden Walk becomes part of the Disneyland Resort? Okay, so this is kind of a little creative exercise because a lot of people told me that this was dumb in the video that I put up 2 weeks ago. But if you can envision, oops, let me turn on my maps. Okay, this little space in the middle here, that's the Esplanade, all right? Possible new parking, that's land that Disney owns. And we have the Garden Walk in this little white square here. And then we have the Toy Story parking lot, which if Disneyland Forward gets approved, could technically be a third gate. Now we're going to talk about that last. So save all those discussions because before we can get there, we need to talk about this little parcel of land that is park blocking us. So let's go over there, shall we? All right. This is the size of our parking lot. A lot of people are like, it's too small to put a theme park in it. It's bigger than DCA, bro, or on par, same size. But if you can imagine, if we were to go from the Esplanade, go straight across here into this parking lot, like underneath it, there would be a way to go straight down into whatever this could be. So before we talk about this, I'm going to beg you, let us focus on the Garden Walk part of this property because it would give the ability to easily walk inside the Disney bubble over to the third gate. And if you've been out to Walt Disney World, you know that all those parks are far away. Fun fact that was dropped on me that's amazing, Knott's Berry Farms is closer to Disneyland than Epcot is to the Magic Kingdom. Paris has 2 parks that are walking distance from each other. And so do we out here. This would be the first time ever that there would be 3 parks within walking distance. So the idea would be is that maybe the Garden Walk area could be some theme park, but it could also be a bridge, or when I mean bridge, I mean a storytelling bridge to bridge the gap, but more downtown Disney. And if this became a downtown Disney taking you in to a third park, does that mean that the current downtown Disney, you ready for this, could become more of the hotels or DCA in Disneyland? Think about it. Think about it. They told Jesus he was crazy. They would need to, the monorail loop. It's always the monorail loop. They would need to expand the monorail loop if they turn Toy Story into a third gate, or people could walk there because they're shopping the whole way. It's not that far. There's a lot of people that walk that far every night to their hotel, or they could put in A people mover. People mover would be so much more affordable. Little people mover thing that just takes you from park to park. Who knows? Who knows? Won't happen. They'd kill it to connect the Eastern Gateway parking lot and the Disney Springs. Why wouldn't it happen, ER? Why wouldn't it happen? They'd kill it. Who's they? Did you go through the pandemic like I did? Did you see how Anaheim was like, Disney, please open your gates. We need the money. If they wanted to do that parking process today, it would get approved in a second. Don't naysay me, bro. I believe that everybody's learned a lot from this, and it could and will be done. At the end of the day, the local government wants money. They were worried that it was going to ice out all the businesses on Harbor. However, if there could be, imagine both parties could agree on a way to include them, it could happen. Buses as far as the eye can. Don't. Bricky, don't bus. Bricky, don't bus. I ain't doing it. Tim Reed, what's up, my brother? Garden Walk is a horrific design. Disney should buy the property, start over. It's been bankrupt in its short history. I'm telling you, man, it is the missing piece for an unbelievable Disney experience, which would 3 parks, means more hotel rooms, means more people coming in from out of town, means more hotel fees and tourist fees for the city of Anaheim. It is not crazy. All the naysayers are like, nah, it'll never happen. It's like, come on, man. It could definitely happen. What's up? Disney would kill it to build their Disney Springs project and just use a contractor, is what I'm saying. Would, ER, hold on, bud. Hold on. We're getting someplace. If you think Disney is going to build a Disney Springs on their last land and not a third gate, because Garden Walk could be the Disney Springs, albeit short and small, that would take you to the third gate. After this, they're out of land. 3 parks is going to sell so many more hotel rooms, and the hotel guest is the most valuable guest at the resort. 3 parks are going to sell so much more than any shopping plaza. I've said my piece. I think they should put more things like Disney Quest. Wow, what a hot take. Which would make more things for people to do when they can't go into the park. All right, I understand what you're saying. And I agree with you, half. That a downtown Disney shopping area, or say a Disney Springs West, it should have some entertainment things, right? It should have some entertainment places like, some black box type entertainment or interactive theaters or arcade. Like, it should have some stuff like that. But we never, ever, if we were from the business, we never want to incentivize people to not go to the park. FOMO is the name of the Disney business, the theme parks business. So I think that you're half right. There should be some entertainment space, but it shouldn't be so much that it feels like, well, we don't have to go to the park because we can do this thing. ER's back for another swing. Chapek put many Disney stores and Targets. Galaxy's Edge is a mall. They want more immersive retail. Hey, if Galaxy's Edge is a mall, give me more malls. Yeah, there's some stores there, but there's also 2 attractions. And guess how many attractions are in New Orleans Square? 2. If that's what a mall is, give me more. And if they want to put shops inside of lands that look as beautiful as that, build them tomorrow, brother. Tomorrow. I don't want to go to Disneyland for shopping. Thank you, Erica. Although I was going to ask you, did you want to go shopping this Friday at Disneyland? Okay, you don't want to. Brian says Disney already bought some hotels already on Harbor and the project was on hold for a while. That's why you see an empty lot on Harbor in the Disney World. Yeah, I mean, they buy things. Things don't go the way that they plan. Things change. Things evolve, but they hold on to the land. You know, you just don't buy all this stuff and do it tomorrow. Everything we're talking about is a long-term plan. Long-term plan. Okay, Life in Excess is playing along with me. By the way, NXS, great band. Imagine Garda Walk space as the contemporary hotel style. Public atrium, retail space, lobby. Ooh. Dude, I would love that. If you're just cruising through the heart of a hotel while there's hotel above you, that would be sick. Great Eat and Drinker says monorail will never be expanded because that's a super expensive project. And I agree with you. I think it's too pricey for where they're at. It would be sick to be able to monorail to the third gate, but I mean, it's not really that big of a walk. I mean, let's map it out, okay? So imagine right now we're standing in front of the gate of DCA and we walk all the way down to Monsters Inc. and then we walk all the way down to Radiator Springs. Boom. We're at a third park. I mean, it's not that far of a distance. It could easily be walked, and especially if there's fun retail and experiences and park-like atmosphere along the way, it will cruise by. Cruise by. Scary Gary says, I feel like Garden Walk could just be another hotel with attractions on the bottom, a hybrid space. I agree with you, because that's what Disneyland Forward is all about. Mixed-use space. There would be so many ways where Garden Walk could be shopping, entertainment, hotel, and most importantly, a vehicle to safely get you to the third gate and not having to leave the Disney bubble. All right, it's time for our final topic. Hope you guys have had fun doing this. This is what you guys voted to do. I was having a hard time getting the survey going, so we'll do a rough vote at the end, and we'll see what's up. All right, our fifth is Disney Springs West or a third theme park. I know we all want a third theme park over shopping, but what do you realistically think they would build? We're just informal survey. I'm just going to do a little survey, create a poll. What do you think? Shopping or theme park? Not what you want. What do you think will happen? Seen a lot of people say third theme park. I mean, I can't imagine that they would not build a third theme park, because after they use this space, they're done. They're out. That's it. I mean, yeah, they could buy a bunch of people's houses. They could buy a bunch of businesses, but it would not be affordable. This is it, brother. Oh. ER. I love Galaxy's Edge. I agree. Rise is amazing, but it's the most retail-centric land we've gotten. They see immersive retail as a part of life experience for people. It's fine. Let them. Because you don't have to spend money at the shops. And guess what I've bought there? Not that much. I've rode the rides way more than I bought anything. I don't understand why the stores are so irritating to people. If the stores are the means to get great attractions and immersive lands, walk past the stores. Nobody's making you spend money. And by the way, those stores are all pretty tiny. I mean, one would say that the indoor bazaar area that, you know, is attached to Ronto Roasters, that's a pretty entertainment-driven shopping place. Like, it's all merchandise. It's kind of exclusive to those lands. There's lots of theme in there. Like, I walk through there all the time and enjoy it. It never rubs me wrong. I don't understand. I don't understand why the shops are such a bone of contention for some folks. I don't get it. A water park. You know when you're in a water park and you're floating on the lazy river, there's other people's poop flakes in that water with you, right? Like, all of our holes are in the same body of water, which means that my poop flakes can float over to your butthole. You get that, right? Just making sure I said it. Tim Reed, Bobby's a merchandising guy. We already see it with the heavy merch push and less Disney magic. If the merch is the means to build bigger experiences, I'm down for it, because you don't have to buy it. And I never do. Erica says shops and lands are good. Shops like a mall, like Disney Springs. No thanks. Ah, I get what you're saying. You like shops and lands? Yes. Yes. Yes, Erica, I understand. Oh, come on, Anna, grow up. Grow up. You know what? She's my moderator, but kick her out of the chat. Kick her out of the chat for being gross. How dare? Oh, Denise, you too? You too? What's up with all these ladies tonight? It's gross ladies tonight. What's going on here? Come on. Oh yeah, come on. Now I'm the gross one. The dude who all day's been like, we need a water park. We need a. Do we need a water park? Oh man. Okay, here we go. Here's the I say neither. Can I say adventure style hotel like Star Wars Cruiser? Yeah, but it doesn't need that much space, bro. And it would get out of here with that. I love you. We've had fun hanging out, but that's crazy talk. You don't need that much land for Marvel Hotel. Morgan, I just want more ways to enjoy Disney vibes. Me too, girl. I'll drink to that. Thank you, Scan Fan Ed. Appreciate it, bud. All right, theme park is crushing it. 74% of you is what you're voting for. Just buy Knott's and turn it into a new Frontierland. Oh, yeah, if you want to go to Frontierland, you got to get in a car and you got to go down a little bit ways, but you'll have fun when you get there. Yeah, Kimberly knows what's up. Oh. All right. You know what we need? A giant store that sells num dum-dums. Yeah, Steve. Steve knows about my proprietary ice cream sandwich where I was the first person to ever take two Jack num-nums and place a scoop of Ghirardelli ice cream between them, making the Jack dum-dum. Highly recommend that you guys should try it on your next trip. Even this cat knows we don't want a water park. Although cats don't like getting into water, so that cat looks pretty suspicious. I don't know if we can trust their vote. But you know, I think what Disney did is I think that they showed us this concept art that would fit in this space. And they quietly just kind of made it look like, oh, it would be a shopping plaza. But I think with 76% of you, I agree. There's no way it would be a shopping plaza. No way. They would use that land to put in a park. And as I've shown you, it's a sizable amount of space. It is very similar to a majority of DCA. Very, very similar in its scope and to its size. All right, friends. Federalist just showed up, so that means it's time to end the live stream. I want to thank everybody for showing up, and I want to ask you guys, what do you want to do next Monday? I couldn't get the survey to properly work. It was only giving me 2 options, and I had 4 ideas. So I'm going to give you 4 ideas. A, you're only going to put one of these in, and I don't know who's counting, but we'll just see what it looks like the winner is. A, we will watch vintage Disney home videos together. B, we will watch vintage Disney commercials together and rank them on how good the commercials are. 3, I, professional illustrator and artist, will do some Disney coloring and storytelling with you, and you'll be able to see my hands as I color because I have enough cameras in here to do it. Or 4, or D, A, B, C, or 4. May the 4th party predictions, as next week a lot of us will be doing the May the 4th. We could look at the lay of the land and kind of predict what exactly is going to happen. Voting is open for 3 minutes. A, B, C, or 4. What do you think, Rye Gregory, you shady looking little cat? What are you into? Oh, this is all the cat had to say. A. I'm seeing lots of A's. Oh, Jess Martin with a bunch of B's. 4. If you are a Club 1313 member, don't forget, go over to the Discord because Tony and I are going to be doing a live podcast right after this for members only. Oh, B commercials. B. Look at this chat. It's going wild. If only there was a way where we could actually track these through the software of YouTube. Oh, this is key. How am I ever going to know which one won? Well, I'll tell you how. Show up next week and you'll see which one won. Because, yeah, I'll pretend that I've gone through and counted these up and I'll give you a fake score. F. Oh, just like a Vegas Raiders fan to pick an F, huh? Just like a Vegas Raiders fan to go outside of the rules. Yeah, you too, John Gruden. E, all of the above. Well, I don't know if you know this about me. I've only got so many ideas, so we'll get to all of them at some point. B or C, B1. Tim said B1. The commercials, really? You guys want to watch the old commercials? Oh. Sidewalk stream? I'm working on it. The problem with the sidewalk stream is it has to be live 8K, and we're a couple of Ks short, so we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Just pick B. Well, show up next Monday and you'll see which one of these won the vote. And if you are a Club 1313 member, right now we're starting a live podcast where we're going to be taking your questions. Both me and my co-host Tony, we've been able to experience VIP tours on the East and West Coast. So if you've ever been curious, how do VIP tours work? What's the benefits of doing them? And which park is it superior, out on the East Coast or here on the West Coast? Ask us next for Club 1330 members. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you back here next Monday when we all do something fun together. I'm so glad that you picked this Disneyland Forward topic. Hopefully you had fun dreaming up what the future of Disneyland could be. I'll see you guys again next Monday, or if you're in 1313, I'll see you right now.